All right, on today's show, we're going to explore the biggest LinkedIn updates, including a fascinating report that outlines exactly what's driving small business growth as we head into 2026. Also, a new AI driven prospecting tool. If you do a lot of networking on LinkedIn, this could be very, very powerful. And if you use LinkedIn events, a powerful new update that you'll want to know about as well. My name is Jerry Potter, host of the Social Media Marketing Talk Show, a social media examiner production where we break down all the latest social media news and what it means for marketers like you. Today, I'm joined by Judi Fox. Judi is a LinkedIn strategist, and her course is called the LinkedIn Business Accelerator. Judi, welcome to the show.
Excited to be here.
So let's talk first about what Microsoft calls Q1, because they do their year all different. But the most recent quarter of performance, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. How is LinkedIn doing? Because as we're investing our time and money in it, we always want to know that it's a platform that is thriving and not, plummeting. So what's the latest that you saw in that stood out to you?
Yes, and I agree. Numbers give more certainty in business. So to see a 10% year over year increase in their just growth of their business financially, they have had 18 billion in revenue this year.
Whew.
Membership is now 1.3 billion professionals, B with a billion.
Mhm.
And it's just great to see the engagement and activity going up. Comments are up 24%. A lot
Wow.
of times the past we focused on posting, and I really love to see that comments are increasing because brands and businesses are recognizing that it's a conversation that we have to have to grow our businesses. And LinkedIn is now letting us see the impressions that our comments are making. How many people are actually viewing your comments is a great business tool that can be reported internally now. And
Yeah.
yeah, and they've been able to say they have 3 consecutive quarters of double-digit growth in video uploads. That is
Well,
really,
yeah.
really strong. Yeah.
Yeah, we know, and of course, LinkedIn said upload video, and people said, okay, we know how to. We're listening now.
Yes.
And the comment thing is no joke. I mean, I know people that are getting more reach with their comments on other people's posts than they are on their own content. And
Yes.
obviously, they impact each other. But there are people who maybe they've got decent reach. They're reaching 500 or 1,000 people per post, but then they go and leave a comment, and it stands out and it reaches 10,000 people because that post reached 100,000 people or something like that. So,
Yeah, and the
um,
business case, if you can now point to your numbers as a financial link between we got a lot more impressions on commenting as a brand and a business, then that is the case to lean into creating a commenting guideline, a plan, and a strategy for commenting.
yeah, I love that. Now, one thing we always have to remember is these reports come directly from the company, from the
Yes.
platform, and they're not making it up, obviously, in terms of the numbers, because people can, have ways of checking them for the most part. But does this feel on par, like what they're reporting, this optimism, does that feel on par to what you feel as someone who spends time and consults people on LinkedIn?
I love that. And I think as a brand and as LinkedIn, the company wants to put their best foot forward. The only thing I'll note, and this is a little hot take here, is they chose to talk about how it was double digit growth in video uploads. That does not necessarily say the results those uploads got for people, just the physical uploads. So if you notice, it's just talking about the data of what got put on the platform, not the results it got for people.
In other words, they didn't say watch time was up.
Correct. They did
They
not
just
say
said
the
people are
engagement
uploading.
on videos are up. They did not say there's a choice there. And so sometimes it's the information that's missing that we may want to just make a little note, asterisk, and consider that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And hopefully, as marketers, we're testing for ourselves to see what it works. And I'm sure some people are having great success with videos. And I also hear from others that are struggling with it. And I feel like with LinkedIn, we've gone through that initial, like, everybody's going to get lots of reach to it's settling down now. And it's kind of figuring things out. Like,
Yeah.
what are we going to show and what are we going to not show? So,
So don't have video FOMO just yet. Like,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, well put. All right. LinkedIn also just released a report about how AI is surging for business growth, like especially for small businesses, not just AI businesses, but all businesses that are growing is partially because of AI. So we're going to share this report with you here in just a second. But if you're already using AI and you feel like you're just scratching the surface, I mean, don't we all feel like that? If you want to discover what separates AI experts from beginners, we've got a special free masterclass with Dan Sanchez, who's the AI marketing specialist at Social Media Examiner. And it's coming up on Tuesday, December 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. He's going to show 7 essential AI tools, including research tools for instant market insights, video creation without a camera, which just as a phrase is amazing. You know, you think about if 10 years ago and be like, oh yeah, you make video without a camera. Visual design that gets clicks, custom audio solutions for branded content. The free session is perfect for you if you're a marketer who wants to do more with AI, if you're a content creator struggling to keep up, and anyone wanting to stay ahead in the AI landscape. So you can register for free. I'm going to give you the link. It's socialmediaexaminer.com/AI tools. Okay. Socialmediaexaminer.com/AI tools. If you can't make it live, sign up anyway. You can get the recording. Socialmediaexaminer.com/AI tools. So LinkedIn did release this report about what is fueling small business growth. And I always have to remind myself as nearly a solopreneur myself, that small businesses is like, you can still have 100 employees or it might even be higher than that, still considered a small business. So what were some of the things in this report? I think there were 3 key insights you wanted to talk about, Judi. So what was the first one?
Yes. So first, this report was just published. It's published on December 3rd. So if you're thinking December 3rd, 2025,
Yeah.
but it is talking about their predictions in a way, saying how small businesses can win in 2026. So I definitely see that as the predictive language of LinkedIn, what they want to happen. So
Okay.
that makes this report really valuable to read because it's telling you, we're going to try to tell you what we want on LinkedIn. So they're saying that
Okay.
small business creation is exploding, that it's been up 69% year over year. And 79% of small businesses are saying video is the new language of the internet. Again, that is hopeful language. But if that tells you anything, plan for more video and obviously attend the amazing event coming up to learn about how to do video without a camera. Is that what the pitch was? Or
Yeah.
exactly.
So let me get this right though. So you're saying, I mean, obviously they did a study, right? That's where
Mhm.
they're getting these numbers, and they analyzed some data. But you're saying this is not what you're saying. This is what LinkedIn is telling us to do to perform well. Because you said
Yeah,
like 79% of small business marketers are saying video is the new language of the internet.
correct. It is
Okay.
more of a hopeful. You have to keep that in mind when you read this report. There's a combination of past data saying that the small business creation is going up 69%. There are more people creating, especially with AI tools. There's more
Yeah.
posts happening on the platform, there's more creation. And we have now a hopeful statement that video is the new language of the internet. We hope it's the new language. um,
Yeah. Okay.
I
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes. And then AI is now the number one growth lever for small businesses. And that is a great announcement to say. And they gave data. So they're saying 54% of US small business leaders saying AI is essential to their current growth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah.
76% are saying AI is helping their small business compete with the larger businesses. So it's
Love that.
leveling the playing field. And they're predicting, again, this is a prediction language. AI could unlock 1.6 trillion in productive capacity for US small businesses.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love the part about being able to compete with bigger brands because that's something I've always tried to do. Like when I worked at an agency before I had my own business, it was kind of like, hey, look, let's try and get you on the same playing field, even if you're a smaller business, because even then, this was several years ago, but even then we had these new assets that were simplifying, these new tools that were simplifying graphic design and all kinds of stuff. And now, obviously, in the last 3 years, it's, it's also crazy to think it's been 3 years since ChatGPT came out, but in the last 3 years, these tools are amazing. So, okay. So small business creation is exploding.
Yep.
AI is the number one growth lever. And what was the third thing you saw in this
The
report
third
that you
one
wanted to
is
share?
networking. I mean, LinkedIn, it's again back to LinkedIn. LinkedIn's excited to talk about how networking is essential to businesses in the age of AI because we have AI posts, we have AI coming out on the internet, the human connection and networking is going to become the differentiator. So they're saying 73% of small businesses are saying networking is going to be essential.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the theme through all of this stuff. I mean, if video is the new language on on the internet, or what is it? Yeah, the new language of the internet. That was what it was.
Yeah.
That's also because video, even though AI video is getting crazy good, that's also because it elevates trust. It lets people feel like they know somebody. So in a way that a blog post just never could. It's crazy to think of what's happened with blogs. So okay, yeah, I mean that all certainly makes sense whether it's predictive or not. I think it's obviously based on strong data. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that.
So definitely read that report. I'm going to go through it because it does signal to your teams where you may want to put your dollars, your money, your time, your effort next year.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another update, another AI update. LinkedIn is introducing an AI-driven people search. Now, it's only for premium users and only in the US right now, but this sounds like a potential really powerful tool for prospecting. Is it not? I assume people will use it for finding job candidates as well. But talk to me about what you've seen so far about this tool.
So the most simple way to explain this is we're taking it from exact keywords and job titles, and LinkedIn is now turning it into a natural language people search. So just like we get on to these AI tools and use natural language to talk with the tool, that's what LinkedIn is doing with their new people search feature. So now, instead of making sure the results match exactly to the keyword and the title, and you have to get it right and you have to iterate, it's going to have this natural language where even if they don't use the exact keywords, if they can scrape someone's profile and see that it was inferred or they meant to say something similar, they're going to bring those people up in your search.
So, in other words, before you would have had to say their exact job title, their exact experience. And now it's almost like you're sitting at a restaurant with a friend and it's like, yeah, tell me like, who's your ideal customer? Who's your ideal client? And you're like, well, they're maybe 40 to 50 and they probably work in an executive role that might be this, like that kind of thing. Is that what you mean by natural language?
Yes. Yeah. They gave some examples. Like now you can talk about, um, I'm looking for people who used to work at this company who now have become founders in healthcare in New York City. Like,
Okay.
that is a really specific, like, I'm trying to find somebody who used to work at maybe a startup, and I wanna figure out what they're doing now, and are they involved in this industry? That would be so fascinating.
Yeah. Okay. So it's available to premium users in the US right now, but obviously, if it tests well, it'll continue to roll out. I don't know if it'll ever roll out to free users simply because obviously everything AI costs quite a bit of the processing money, as they say. But I can see that making a big difference. Can I tell you my favorite thing about AI just everywhere? I'm a verbal processor. So the fact
Yes.
that I can just blab whatever and it'll make sense of it is the best. The
Yeah, and
best.
I mean, right now, I will go into AI and say, "I'm interested in figuring out who is the competition of," and put the criteria. And it does. It starts to give you more details than you would ever get from a specific title of somebody
Mm.
who's trying to name themselves as a title.
For some people, this might be the reason to upgrade to premium. I mean,
Mm,
if you are doing that kind of prospecting. So, all
yes.
right. And then LinkedIn events, there's some new tools for promotion and targeting and measuring all around LinkedIn events. So, talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing with this, Judi.
I love that LinkedIn events is a natural extension of, we want to have more networking, so LinkedIn events goes along with that, and we wanna have more video. So it combines both of those. The
Mm.
ads are going to push more people to see your event. So we're talking, um, they don't really give numbers, which I'm a little bit like, where is the data? Um,
You like the numbers. Yeah.
and they're just saying it's going to help marketers scale their events, get more reach, and measure their events. And they're integrating with a company called ON24. It's an event management and boosting of events. So
Okay.
I was trying to dig into it. Like I said, it does seem relatively new. I would always give a shout out to AJ Wilcox as an ads expert if you have really deep questions. But right now, the number one thing I take away from this is more attendees, more registrations, and the ability to link it to your CRM or integrate it.
Yeah, well, and to go back to sort of the theme of the show today, if the theme of the show today is building trust through networking, through video, through, events, events come with trust from the social proof standpoint. I think that's something we have to factor in. If you are hosting an event and doesn't matter if it's 12 people show up or 500 people show up, every one of those other people goes, oh, there's other people here,
Yes.
versus somebody who's hosting a video on their website and you don't know if anybody's there or not, and there's no social proof. I mean, that social proof is powerful. And I think it's becoming more powerful in the age of AI when we're all deciding whether we can trust people anymore.
I love that. And my favorite saying is public conversations are going to convert to private conversations.
Yes. Yeah. Very well put. Love
Everything that you just said.
No, but it's true. And it goes back to what we were saying about your comments can get more visibility than your posts.
Yep.
In some cases, right? So,
and it can build better trust. That back to the trust word. So yes, I think the theme going into 2026 is trust.
One thing that people are not saying, but I think they should be, is how to use AI to build trust, because it seems sort of an oxymoron. But the more you know about AI, the more you can utilize it in your business, just like LinkedIn had in their report. It is the #1 growth lever. So a quick reminder to sign up for the free AI Masterclass coming up on Tuesday, December 9th. You can go to socialmediaexaminer.com/AI tools, socialmediaexaminer.com/AI tools. And Judi, where can we discover more about you?
I'm on LinkedIn. I go by Judi Fox, JUDIFOX. The key is the I. And yeah, let's connect on LinkedIn and let's get more networking over there. We'll exchange some comments.
Yeah. And if you enjoy this podcast, another one to add to your listening lineup, check out the Social Media Marketing Podcast. Until next time, may you be wise with your marketing decisions. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.